As reported, Russia has started transferring North Korean long-range artillery systems to annexed Crimea, the German broadcaster ZDF reported, in a potential indication that Pyongyang's involvement in the war on Ukraine could soon be expanded. North Korean troops have so far only been observed operating in Russia's Kursk region, where Moscow has been waging a counteroffensive against Ukrainian troops since August 2024. But with Ukrainian forces recently pushed back from Kursk, ZDF said Russia could quickly deploy a North Korean contingent to Crimea to target Kiev's forces in southern Ukrainian regions. The artillery systems in question, 170mm Koksan guns, are among the longest-range conventional field artillery pieces in the world and can strike targets up to 40 kilometers away with standard shells and up to 60 kilometers with rocket-assisted munitions. Defense Express military expert Ivan Kirishchevsky says that at present there's no reason to believe that Russia has started bringing in North Korean troops to support its offensive on Kherson or Zaporizhzhia. Reports that the Russian Federation might bring in DPRK troops to attack the Kherson and Zaporizhzhia regions sound more like "I heard a bell but didn't know where it is." They make no sense. About 2 weeks ago, photos of a group of wagons near Zankoi appeared on social media. What matters isn't the trains, but the group of wagons. On them were what looked like launchers for the DPRK artillery system and several Koksan self-propelled guns. On one hand, seeing Koksan guns at the front is really unpleasant for us. This gun can fire 40 kilometers with regular shells and up to 60 kilometers with rocket-assisted rounds. In short, the Russians are clearly eyeing this system. It's a self-propelled gun with very strong specs. The Russians asked the DPRK for Koksan guns to counter NATO artillery used by the Ukrainian armed forces, he said on Espresso TV. The expert pointed out that while North Korea is supplying weapons to Russia, they're not rushing to send soldiers. Still, these aren't full trainloads of self-propelled guns, just a group of wagons. So writing in bold that North Korean troops are heading to Zaporizhzhia or Kherson is, to put it mildly, premature. The DPRK is generously arming its Russian comrades with ammunition and artillery, but it wants something in return. And second, they're still not ready to send their people. It turns out that one cannibalistic regime is in no hurry to hand over its people to another, the expert added.
Iran says it's awaiting a response by the United States to its offer for indirect nuclear talks, vowing a swift and decisive response to any military attack. We're now waiting to see what the United States decides in this matter. Iran's offer for indirect talks is a generous one, based on a responsible and well-thought-out decision, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Esmail Baghaei, said on Monday. According to Associated Press, in a response to a letter by U.S. President Donald Trump, Iran has rejected direct negotiations, saying it's ready for indirect talks. Trump has threatened that Iran could face military action if a deal is not reached. Those making threats against the Islamic Republic of Iran should know that if any of those threats actually play out, they will face Iran's swift, decisive, and comprehensive response, Baghaei said. Responding to a question on Iran's stance regarding revenge for the death of Iranian top general Qasem Soleimani in 2020, who was killed in Baghdad after Trump ordered a strike, Baghaei said Tehran seeks justice through legal channels. The hardline paper Kayhan had recently threatened that Trump could be shot in the head soon. Baghaei also reacted to comments by Trump, accusing Iran of being behind the October 7th attack on Israel in 2023. When people want to brush the problem under the rug, the easiest thing to do is to point the finger at someone, this one or that one. But I believe that'll only keep the problems going, because as long as you don't admit where the real root of the issue lies, you won't be able to sort it out, Baghaei said.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم تهدیدهایی که علیه جمهوری اسلامی ایران صورت میگیره باید بدونن که این تهدیدها در صورتی که تحقق پیدا بکنه قطعاً با پاسخ سریع، فوری و همه جانبه جمهوری اسلامی ایران مواجه خواهد شد. بنابراین من خیلی جمهوری اسلامی ایران به عنوان یک کشور مسئول، به عنوان یک کشور تابع قانون و حقوق بین الملل همیشه اعلام کرده که اجرای عدالت رو از مجرای حقوقی، از مجاری حقوقی داخلی و بین المللی پیگیری خواهد کرد.
و همکاران گرامی سلام عرض می‌کنم، سال نو رو هم تبریک میگم.
ما منتظر تصمیم آمریکا هستیم در این خصوص. پیشنهاد جمهوری اسلامی ایران برای مذاکره غیر مستقیم یک پیشنهاد سخاوتمندانه و مبتنی بر یک تصمیم مسئولانه و خردمندانه با عنایت به سوابق این موضوع و با در نظر گرفتن روندهای مرتبط با موضوع هسته‌ای و مذاکرات در یک دهه گذشته بوده.
حتی کار به جایی رسیده که آمبولانس‌ها و چادر آوارگان رو هم هدف قرار
در سالهای اخیر و البته قبل از اون عمان این نقش رو به خوبی ایفا کرده. بنابراین فکر میکنم که در صورتی که چنین روندی شکل بگیره عمان یکی از نامزدهای اصلی برای این کار خواهد بود.
ما در این مدت شاهد ادامه جنایات رژیم.
برای اینکه صورت مسئله رو پاک کنن راحت ترین کار این هست که انگشت اتهام رو به سمت این یا اون دراز بکنند و فکر میکنم این صرفاً باعث تداوم مشکلات خواهد شد، به خاطر اینکه مادامی که شما نپذیرید مشکل واقعی، ریشه مشکل از کجاست، در حل اون ناکام خواهید موند.
Fighters of the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have carried out a counterattack operation in the village of Nadia in Luhansk region. Drone footage of the operation, as well as footage from the headquarters where the attack was controlled, was shared on the brigade's social media. Fighters of the 1st Assault and 2nd Mechanized Battalions of the brigade entered the village using armored vehicles, including tanks, other artillery and drones. The trenches and houses occupied by fighters of the 752nd and 254th Mechanized Regiments of the invading Russian army were captured, and the invaders were killed. Russian servicemen who tried to change their position were also killed with the use of drones. The brigade fighters were able to fully restore control over the village in a short period of time.